So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be working on a topic that is comparison theory. Okay, the gap between the vision and reality. You are mixing a future identity certainty with present day sensory reality. The gap is exactly where comparison is born. This is not weakness, it is how the human nervous system works. So, three powerful forces are colliding inside you right now, creating the friction you feel. Your mind lives in the vivid future of success, mastery, and wealth, respect, and impact. Your brain can see it clearly. That's a vision. Meanwhile, your body lives in a present, responding only to current bank balance results, social positioning, and feedback. The body does this not to respond to plans, it responds to evidence. Okay, that's a key word, evidence. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, comparison is your brain trying to measure distance. When you see the others who appear ahead, your brain asks, how far am I from where I believe I should be? Comparison is not envy, it is distance anxiety. This is crucial insight that changes everything about how you approach your journey. You feel uncomfortable because your mind is living in the future while your body is living in the present. Your mind can clearly see who you are going to become and the life you're building. Your body, however, only reacts to what exists right now. Money in the bank, current results, social feedback. That mismatch creates tension. When you compare yourself to others, it's not jealousy. It's your brain trying to measure how far you are from where you believe you should be. The comparison is really distance awareness. It's not weakness. In short, you are not broken. You are feeling the gap between your vision and evidence, and that's the normal part of growth. So from that, you get real danger, the unsecured belief. You don't compare yourself to others because you're weak or jealous. You compare yourself because your confidence isn't fully backed by proof yet. When you tell yourself big things like, I'm going to be the best, or my time is coming, but your daily actions haven't produced real, clear results yet, your mind looks outside that reassurance. It checks other people to see where you stand. That's not real confidence. That's a belief without evidence. Comparison stops you from focus shifts from who you should say you are to what you do every day. When you stuck small, repeatable wins, confidence becomes quiet and stable. Comparison disappears only when the mind is anchored execution, not identity. Right now, your identity is, I'm going to be extraordinary. But your daily proof system is still under construction. That mismatch creates friction. The most dangerous phase is high belief combined with low proof. In short, your dangerous phase, high belief plus low proof. High belief is you saying all this, that this is going to work, it's all God's timing, this is all going to work out, but you have no proof to show yourself that you've been locking in, been doing your charts, been doing your frameworks, been doing your good habits. Like, you can say all these things, but later in life, it's going to show that you never did shit. You were just a talker. And that creates comparison and anxiety. But for you to get to the right track, your strong phase, you're quiet plus confident, and you do your daily actions, because those are the daily actions. Those are the receipts. Those are the receipts that are gonna get you, like, pretty much the phase where it goes brick by brick. You're building a house brick by brick. This is how it goes, because by this you eliminate needs for comparison. You need to shift from identity to process language. The first step to dissolving comparison is changing how you talk to yourself. Stop talking to yourself in big future promises. Start talking to yourself in daily actions. Instead of saying, I'm going to make $1,000,000, say, today I worked X focus hours. Today I followed my rules. Today I built something real. Your brain doesn't calm down from the big dreams. It calms down from proof. Like, think about it, bro. This is the biggest way for you to actually get rid of all that anxiety that you have. And because this was a really big factor that I was struggling, bro. I would always compare myself to all these people, but that were having so much, but I didn't have shit, man. Because it's like, how the fuck were all these people getting everything in life, man? But I'm over here working my ass off, learning, understanding such in-depth detail on how the fuck I need to make it out of the matrix, bro. When all these people already made it out, but they're just so dumb-brained. Like, you need to get rid of that, because you need to show yourself that you were actually aligning what you say you're doing, bro. Like, you say you're gonna make $1,000,000. Okay, have a plan on how you're gonna get that $1,000,000, because when you follow that plan, by default, you're gonna get what you deserve. Because In short, comparison dies when actions replace fantasies. Actions. This is this is the year where you need to start taking action on everything that you've been learning, doing and learning. Because all the shit that you have, like all the dreams you have, the majority of them are just fantasies, bro. But some of them aren't, because some of them you are actually aligned with your daily actions you start to do and certain type of shit that actually get you closer to your goal. So your brain needs concentrate evidence of progress, not abstract promises of future glory. When you focus on what you actually did today rather than what you believe will happen someday, your nervous system receives that proof it craves. This alignment between the mind and body eliminates the gap where comparison thrives. Number one, the old language. I'm going to be the best. Millions are coming. Number two, this is how you should be. Today I executed on focused work. Today I followed my rules. Today I actually did what I'm supposed to do. Like, dude, you should be learning and changing your framework on how you talk. Because by that, your results, your mind anchored to execution. Comparison has nothing else to attach. Because people who are actually on the path to exponential outcomes stop talking about certainty and start obsessing over error reduction. That means that these people who are actually tend to, understand what I'm trying to tell you, and they just lock in. They just get rid of the noise, bro, and they just start being obsessed with the work. They become like different human beings, bro, because they just love the work, bro. And you're supposed to love the work, man, even though it's boring, even though it sucks, even though it may not mean something to you right now, bro. All the learning, all the late nights, like, dude, I have a gigantic feeling that God watches everything that you're doing, bro. And for you to be aligned with your true self, bro, he wants you to understand, like, dude, you need to chill, you need to relax, man. You need to have some patience, because the external will always come to you, bro, and feed you so much shit. The devil will come and distract you from so many different angles and different ways, because he's the biggest trickster, bro. And the biggest enemy is, like, the biggest teacher is the enemy, bro. You learn from so much from all the fuck ups you've done, man. Like, the more fuck ups you have, the more data and research that you can actually apply to yourself until you can make yourself bigger and better. So let your language reflect this shift. Watch how quickly comparison loses its power over you. So install your private scoreboard. This is a non-negotiable. Your brain needs a way to win daily, or it will compare externally. You must install a private scoreboard that tracks only what matters for your execution. Track hours of focused executions, rules followed especially under pressure, skilled practices deliberately, and output shipped. If you win your scoreboard, comparison has nothing to attach to. Your scoreboard should be brutally honest and completely private. This is not for social media, not for impressing others, not for external validation. This is your internal measurement system that provides evidence your nervous system needs to feel secure in your progress. So basically what this is saying is that your brain needs to feel like it's winning every single day. If it doesn't feel progress, it will automatically start looking at other people, comparing timelines, and creating stress and doubt. How you stop that is by giving your brain a private scoreboard. Not money, not likes, not status, just daily proof. Just showing up every single day and taking action. That's literally what it is. What you track is only this. Each day you ask, did I spend real time and focus? Did I follow my rules when it was hard? Did I practice my skill on purpose? Did I finish or ship something? If yes, you will win the day. That's it. The scoreboard must be private. It's not for posting, flexing, or validation. It's for your nervous system. Understand this, bro. I haven't really gotten deep into the nervous system, about the body, but your nervous system, bro, you need to keep this shit in check, because if not, it will override you, and then you could just be going off of impulses with what you think is good, but in reality it's not, because your subconscious will play and will just manipulate you and just try to do so much stupid shit. But your body relaxes when it sees, I'm moving forward and I have proof. The core idea in one line: if you win your own daily scoreboard, your brain stops comparing yourself to others, because it already knows your progress. That's the whole point. The whole point is for you to align yourself into your true image and what you want to be. Simple. Use comparison correctly. Comparison is not evil. Okay? It's not evil. It's misunderstood. When you see someone ahead of you, your brain actually starts gathering useful information. The question is whether you extract data or inflict a judgment on yourself. Healthy use of comparison asks, what do they do daily that I don't do yet? And what systems do they have that I'm building? Unhealthy use says, I should already be there or I'm behind. Replace judgment with data extractions. When you notice comparison arising, pause and reframe it as a learning opportunity. What specific actions does this person take? What habits have they built? What mistakes did they make and overcome? This transforms comparison from source of anxiety into a source of intelligence. Comparing yourself to others is not bad. Your brain is actually trying to learn. The problem is how you compare yourself. There are two ways it shows up. The bad way is judging yourself. I should already be here. I'm behind. Something is wrong with me. This creates stress and shuts you down. And this used to always happen to me, bro. I used to always lose, and I used to always compare myself and go to social media and go to TikTok, watch all these people get so much money, bro. And that would just fuck up my nervous system, bro. And I would always be in a loop. And it would be hard for me to get out of the loop. But now I'm starting to actually get away from social media, get away from all this shit, and actually be locking in. And the good way is learning. What do they do every day that I don't do yet? What systems or habits do they have? What mistakes do they make and fix? This makes you smarter. The simple rule is this. When comparison shows up, don't ask yourself, what can I copy or learn from this? Why this work is simple. Judgment drains energy. Learning builds power. When you treat comparison like data, not a verdict, it stops hurting and starts helping. One line takeaway: comparison should teach you, not punish you. That's the whole point. So this is unhealthy comparison. I should already be there. I'm behind everyone else. Why haven't I achieved this yet? They're better than me. This is healthy comparison. What do they do daily that I can't? What systems are they using? How and what can I learn from their path? What evidence are they building? The shift from judgment to curiosity is the shift from suffering to learning. When your days are full of executions, your mind goes quiet. Comparison becomes a tool, not a torment. So in comparison, you don't eliminate comparison, you outgrow it. You don't need to get rid of comparison, you need to outgrow it. You outgrow it by building evidence, narrowing focus, and letting results speak before identity does. When your days are full, your mind goes quiet. This is the final truth you must understand. The path forward is not about fighting comparison or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about building such a strong foundation of daily executions that comparison becomes irrelevant. When you're deeply engaged in your work, when you're following your systems, when you're stacking evidence day after day, there's simply no mental space left for comparison to occupy. You don't need to fight comparison or try to erase it. You naturally outgrow it. How you outgrow it is by doing three things essentially. First, build evidence. You do your work every day and you stack small wins with real effort, proof. And the second, narrow your focus. You stop watching everyone else and you start focusing on your next task. Third, you let results speak first. You don't rely on who you think you are, you rely on what you did today. Why comparison fades always is simple. When your days are full of focused work, following your system, and stacking small proof daily, your mind has no room to wander. A busy, purposeful mind doesn't compare, it executes. And this is the key, bro. The key truth is this. Comparison isn't beaten by confidence. It's beaten by engagement, action, doing the work, bro. This is when I stopped comparing myself, and this is when my life started to really change, and I started to actually become so fucking smart and actually get in tune with who my true self is in the future, bro. When you lock into your work, comparison becomes irrelevant. One line takeaway: fill your days with real execution. Your mind will naturally go quiet, and that's the key, bro. Is to just always do work, bro. Never let your mind wander, because a wandering mind is the devil's workshops, bro. Remember that. This is not about motivation or advice. This is how the human nervous system actually works. Your body needs evidence, not promises. Your mind needs metrics, not fantasies. Giving yourself both through relentless daily executions and comparison will leave naturally as you grow into the person you're becoming. The journey is not about believing harder, it's about executing better. Because this was a really great, interesting topic to talk about because, bro, think about it. You are in control of your whole life, bro. You can have everything that you want in this world, bro. But the biggest factor is comparison, bro. Probably you are comparing yourself in a very bad way, the dangerous way. You know how we talked about. You're probably saying to yourself, I'm unhealthy. I can't do that. I'm fat. I'll never get anywhere, bro. And that right there, bro, that's going to stop you, man. Because whatever you believe to be true will eventually you'll make it true. Like if you say to yourself, I'm always fat, I'm always lazy, dude, you're gonna become what you say, bro. Like stop saying that shit, man. So hopefully this video helped you out, man, and I hope you understand a big gap between your vision and your reality. All right, peace.